Hello there, welcome back to Darshan Dev. I am Darshan. Welcome to the fifth video of our HMS series. So our hotel management system app has reached this stage, but still we got a lot more to do. Like if we go to room list, we still have this thing, which we don't want, by the way. So when we go back to this URL, we had done all of this in the last video, and I just forgot to show you how flexible this is. Basically this is flexbox, so yeah, definitely it's flexible. And now I'll show you how it responds to our size changes. So if you are on mobile view, it's gonna be looking this way, and then if you increase the screen size, it's gonna come on the side of the picture, and if you increase it more, it's gonna look this way. So that's it. Let's build this list, room list. So when we go to room list, we want this template that I had shown you in the last video to be rendered, this one, room list view. You get it? It's a beautiful one. So let's go to our room list view. I'm going to redefine it to a function based view because we need quite a bit of customization over here. It's not going to be a list view and not going to take any parameters, simply a request, and it's going to return render to our template, this template, that is roomlistview.html. but it's not going to use template view because basically it's not simply rendering a template, right? We got to do all the logic that we had done yesterday, kind of similar logic. So our template name is room list view .html, and we need quite significant context here. I'll define context. For now it's empty. So right now what I'm going to do, go to the models and see this room categories. We need these this tuple, and we are going to make it into a dictionary and then use it in our context. So let's get any room object because we have defined it in the room object, right, in the room model. So get a room, that is room equals room.objects.all 0. Basically getting the first room that you get, room.objects.get, not get, all. So this gives you the first room that's indexing 0. Okay, so I'm going to take in room categories. Okay, we have already defined it over here. I think I'm going to define it the same way, but we need a few changes. We are not going to define a specific room category because it's not a specific room, right? Categories. And even here we are not going to get anything. We just have a dictionary and it's a dictionary. So now what we need to return is this dictionary and its keys and values. So this YAC is going to be the key, AC is going to be the value, NAC is going to be the key, non-AC is going to be the value. That's the way. So let's do that. Also we are planning to return the URLs which are the reverse of this room detail view, which is over here, room/category, in this view, because we need, let's just render it and see how it goes. I'll save it, but there are a few changes that we need to do. First we need to remove this as view method call. I'll save it, and then it should give us our template over here. And we haven't linked the CSS to our template, so do that first. So go to room list view, go to your CSS, and then go do the same thing that we had done in the last video. Use the static, but it's not simply home.css. It's going to be under our app's name, which is over here, static hotel css home.css. So Let's go to our room detail view and check the structure. So it's this way, hotel css detail.css, and let's do the same here. We are going to do hotel css home.css. I save it and refresh it. Okay, did you forget to register or load this tag? It's simply because we did not mention load static up there. Now I add this and this should work. I refresh it and this is what it should look like. Now each of these are going to have a different name over here, a different description over here. Description you can give it later on, advance your project further. I'm just going to do with the name and the link. So it should not simply go to detail.html. It should go to our room slash the type of the room, that is room slash YAC, room slash something, that way. For example, if we go to room slash YAC, it should give us this page, right? And this URL room slash YAC would be here. This would mention AC suite, this would mention deluxe suite, this would mention non-AC suite, something like that. And each of them would have a different URL. So in this view, we are going to make those URLs, pass them into the context, and then use them in the template. You get it? And we are going to make it in a certain form of structure like this. So it's going to be a tuple, and in there you are going to have a room category, not categories, just a category, and then the second one will be the room URL, like room slash YAC, room slash NAC. That's going to be the second one, and the first one is going to be the room category, and the room category would be the readable, human readable name. Okay, and to make that, we are first of all going to make room values as a list, because we need to render our human readable format, right? We don't want YAC and NAC, we want AC and non-AC. That if that's the way we want it, we are going to do room categories dot values, and don't forget the parenthesis, it's a function. Now I'm going to define a list, room list, and it's going to be an empty list for now, and in there we will add go through a for loop through this dictionary and add the values in there in the format that I had specified. So I'll write a for loop that is for room in room categories, no, room category in room categories. Your wording needs to be descriptive enough, right? For room category in room categories. Let's first of all show you what this room categories has. So instead of doing anything else here, I'll just comment it out for a while and then show you what this room categories consists of. So I'll print it. You can debug it or do anything else, but I think printing is the best option. If you just want one variable to be printed, checked out. So I'm going to print it, print I'll print the string categories equals room categories, and then you will see what this room categories has, and then I will copy this and also show you what room categories dot values gives us, so that you will get a better understanding of what we are doing here. I'll save this and then refresh the page to get our logic in the integrated terminal over here. See this, categories gives you a dictionary that says YAC is the key, AC is the value, NAC is the key, non-AC is the value, just as we wanted. And categories, I did not change this, but since this is the second one, you know that, right? Dictionary values, okay, it just says dictionary values, so you definitely know it's this one. It gives you all the values, that is AC, non-AC, deluxe, king and queen. These are important for us to pair up with the URLs, because This is the important data, not this YAC, NAC, DEL, because people understand this format, right? And we want this format to be passed into our context. So let's go through this room categories dot values and add those to our context. So for room category in room categories, room equals room categories dot get room. So basically we are getting this non-AC, deluxe, king and queen, the full forms on the basis of YAC, NAC and DEL. This shouldn't be room, this should be room category. So for room category in room categories, room equals room categories dot get room category. So if I print room, I can show you what we get. I'll save it and then refresh, and here we have our logic. So our room is AC, non-AC, deluxe, king and queen. So that's what we get, and we need to pass this room which we got here into the context, and this should be in the form of a list of tuples which have the room, that's AC, non-AC, deluxe, king and queen, along with their URLs, because we need all of that data, right? We can iterate through it in our templates and do all kind of stuffs with it. So I'll remove this print statement, and now we'll construct the room URL. So if you haven't imported it yet, import from Django URLs, import reverse, and then we can make our room URL here. So room URL equals reverse. We are going to pass the name of the view, that is room detail view, but it's under the hotel apps url.conf, so I mean url.py. So hotel colon room detail view. So that should give it. Now the next thing is keyword arguments. We need to pass in our room category as the room category which is defined here. The category equals, so we say this should be in quotes, remember that. Category is to, I mean not is to, colon, you can say it is to. Category is, so category is gonna be room category, that is from this room categories dictionary, and whenever you run a for loop on a dictionary, it's gonna basically run it on the key values. So you get the YAC, NAC, DEL, KIN, QWE, that's the computer values. So instead of getting these human values, we need these computer values which are in room category, so we pass in room category, and then I save it. So to see how our room URL is made, let's print the room comma room URL. Let's save it and refresh our browser. Let's go to the terminal and see it. So it goes this way: AC room slash YAC, non-AC room slash NAC, and that's the way we want it to be. This is for computer and this is for humans. Okay, now we pass it in the form of a list in our context. Okay, so we make a list out of it, that is I'm going to do room list dot append. I'm going to append this room comma room URL, and it's going to be a tuple, so just make it in parentheses. I'll save it, and then I'm going to print our room list. And I'm going to cancel this print statement and save it and refresh our browser to show you how our list is made. So browser refreshed, let's go to our terminal. So this is our list. Here we get the list of tuples. So this is the list, and here is our tuple: AC room slash YAC, non-AC room slash NAC, all in the form of a tuple. You get it? So we can reiterate, iterate, do anything with it inside our template. So to do the further logic, let's go to our template, but before that let's pass this into the context and save our file. So for now let's do it this way. I'm going to say room list is to room list, comma, save it, and remove the print. And now let's go to our HTML, and then over here what we are going to do is simply run a for loop over this room div. We don't want this room divs to be repeated. I mean, we don't want to repeat these room divs manually. We're going to do a for loop for that. So for room in room list, that's our template variable. I'm going to end for before I do anything else. Here we end our room div, so I'm going to end our for here. The rest of it will be done by the logic. So for room in room list, so this room variable, what it does is gives us a tuple with the room title, comma the room, room category title, comma the room URL. So the first one is going to be, we are going to do, what do we call that, tuple tuple unpacking. So we do this room equals room category, comma room URL, because oh, I just closed it. Okay, so we have room and room URL. Room is basically room category, so that's what I've named it here, room category, comma room URL. So now after this tuple unpacking, we can put this room category in the place of h2. So I'm going to display room category. I'll remove this deluxe suite, room category, and in place of this href I'm going to put room URL. And remember, double curly braces, it's already a string, you don't need to process it as a URL. So just place it in there, room URL, and we save it. After saving it, let's go there, refresh it. Oh, why do we have so many of those? Let's check it out, check it out, check it out. Well, since this is HTML and not Python, we cannot do this here. It caused a lot of errors, like we saw this happen this way. But I've found out the way that we can do it here is simply unpack it right here. So room category dot room URL, you can just put it in the for loop, that is for room category dot comma room URL in room list. This way you get access to room URL and room category. We save it and then refresh it, and this way we get AC, non-AC, deluxe, king, queen, and these are the rest of them which we did not remove. And when we click on them, we get to the right pages. So that's how it works, and it does work. So let's remove these deluxe suites, and I'm going to type suite here, It looks sweet. Let's remove the rest of them. Okay, so that's the size of our file after after refactoring everything and doing. Okay, let's just refresh it and see. Okay, this is how it looks. So beautiful, right? So let's go to AC and why not we book a room? Let's go to King, okay, and book something in future. I'm going to type it 2102. Not in past, I mean I'm gonna book it at 9999 at 1212. It is gonna be 2202 9999 1212. Definitely I won't be there at that time, but I'm doing the booking. Okay, now this is something which we are going to handle in the next or the next to next videos, because this is an error which happens when we have not logged in. So simply go to your local host, not localhost 3000, it should be 8000. Okay, localhost 8000 /admin. So when you go, I think I'm logged in, so let's refresh it now, and now it should give you, okay, just check out data checkout. It should definitely be, because we have not logged in. Let's refresh, or instead refresh it and log out, and then log in once more. Now after I've logged in, I'll go to the room URL and then perform the booking. Let's check with the same date. Maybe something because of the date. Just 4 9s, 1212, 2202, 9999, 1212. Book a room. Cannot assign. Okay, this is something new I have come across. Okay, see over here, this is localhost 8000 admin, and here in the I button we have cookies. Okay, and in these cookies CSRF token and session ID are there. Session ID is for storing data in sessions, right? And this is important. If you log in, this session ID cookie, if it is not present, then it would show anonymous user and give us that error. Okay, see over here I'm using localhost 8000, and over here I'm using 127.0.0.1 8000. Basically they are the same, but the cookies don't get transferred. Okay, and here I don't see session ID cookie, I just see CSRF token. The other cookies are there, but this session ID cookie is not there, which we saw over here. And that cookie is extremely important if you want to log in over here and then use the user there. You get it? So instead of doing that sort of thing, I mean, to debug I just used request, added the request.user to our context and printed it here. So we have anonymous user, but since we have localhost 8000 over here and we have logged in using localhost 8000, we have to use the same over here, or else this won't work. Or if you want to use this IP address, you can use it as well, but use the same thing to log in. That's important, as I've done here. Here I've logged in using our IP address in admin, and when I go to admin it's logged in, right? And now using the same IP address, instead of using localhost, I go to room list and it shows DKD. That's the thing that we are logged in. Okay, now I'll remove the extra things that I had added, the self variable, template variable that I had added over here, and the request.user I had added here. Let's remove that. I'll save it, and also I'll remove the print statements. We don't need them anymore. Let's clean up our code a bit. Perfect. Let's save it, and let's go here and book a room. Now the DKD is gone. Let's book deluxe. Okay, this time we are gonna go into the 22nd century. Okay, so it's gonna be, I want it to be 0101 2100. Hope I live till that time. And this one is going to be 0201 2100 1111. Let's book the room, and I've booked the room in 22nd century. So congrats if you have done till there. And yeah, that's for today's video. This is our second implementation of our templates, and for now we are done with templates. In the next video we'll handle our users using Django all auth, and we'll do quite a lot of interesting things over there. It's gonna be a cool journey, you know. So if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Stay tuned. Bye bye.